Hello, this is going to be a figuring out the lie in regards to the Beaumont children. Missing since January 26, 1966. Jane Anna Grant, 9, 7, and 4, supposedly. It was Australia Day. This happened in Australia. So I went back to watch my original reading on the Beaumont children, and a couple of things stood out to me. There were 2 kings, 2 queens, the empress and the emperor. The moon, a couple of 3s. I saw the floorboards twice. Now these are called Scary Tales dice. So I've already rolled it, and what came out is mansion, creepy child, missing, quarterback, shovel, reunion, and voodoo curse. Okay, so defeat supernatural evil was in the first reading, and then came the devil in reverse, and underneath that was a Queen of Cups, which was also portrayed as the devil. So there's something going on here. Okay. Dice to the side. These are my 2 cards for the lie. So something about impatience and recognition. Okay, I want to go here again. In the reading, I felt like they really just wanted, whoever they are, 1 kid, and the other 2 they disposed of, or vice versa. They really just wanted 2 and wanted to get rid of the other one, but there was a goal here, and I think it was a sacrifice. The other thing is, to start this reading off, I lit incense. I just looked up, I lit myrrh incense, so I just looked up the spiritual meaning of myrrh, and it speaks of suffering, death, resurrection. It's used in embalming, sacrifice, and redemption. It rules the planet Moon. Here we go with the mother again. And was the eventual used in the eventual sacrifice of Jesus Christ. So I'm getting the mother thing heavily. I don't know if this was like an orgy. I mean, it is the 60s. I don't know if they were smoking pot and having an orgy. And the reason I say this is because the recognition card. The other thing, okay. So there's 3 lambs, the sacrificial lambs. 3 children. I think 2 they didn't need and 1 they wanted, or 2 they wanted and 1 they didn't. I don't know what the equation is there. The recognition card, emotional fulfillment, happiness, contentment. Baskin in abundance, couldn't be happier, wishes granted. An invitation to splurge, indulge, and enjoy life's pleasures. Good food and wine, the arts, making love, relaxing in a luxurious resort, or experiencing beauty. Live in the moment and give yourself permission to indulge temporarily without any guilt. So this seems like the mother. Yes, all 3 kids go get on a bus and go to the beach because she had some plans. Allegedly. I feel like I might want to get a card for each of the dice. Let me just read impatience first. So figuring out the lie when it comes to the Beaumont children. Impatience, electric blue moon. If I don't take care of it, it'll never happen. The other thing I wonder is there life insurance policies that got cashed out later. Impatience. Your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. Questions to ask yourself: am I jumping the gun? If I am honest with myself, am I forcing something? The other thing I'm wondering was the mother in a... because it felt like somebody was cheating on somebody. Or unfaithful to... was she in a lesbian relationship, perhaps? Because also in the last reading, there was somebody with kinks or fetishes. Not to say being in a lesbian relationship is that. This person was more wrapped up in lust. So, key ideas: scarcity thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience. Keywords: unfolding, revelation, and success. The story behind it: Eton grows impatient waiting for dawn, so he buys a used moon. Once it is in the sky, he steps back to see his handiwork. The moon will not stay in place unless he holds the cord. Sky God assures him that dawn will come when he lets go. But Eton is fearful and grips onto the cord until he falls asleep and releases it. When he awakens, dawn has come, and the radiant light in the sky is blocked only by his used moon. The inspiration: now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known, now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Yeah, still not getting it yet. Alright, let's see. What is the lie when it comes to the Beaumont children? Why was the lie kept from us? When/if will we know the truth? Okay. What is the lie when it comes to the Beaumont children? Explorer of brushes. Explorer is Knight of Wands, I believe. Let me just check. Knight of Wands, yes. Okay. Why is it being kept from us? Temperance. And when/if will the truth be known by the end of the day, which is kind of weird because looking up some shorts on the Beaumont children, a couple of things are coming out this week. What is this? 66, that's 60 years later? 66 years later? 60 years later. Yeah. What is that? Kind of looks like fireworks. Or like an amusement park. Okay, so let me go through the dice. Tell me about the mansion. Mansion, creepy child. What was it? Missing. Give me one card for the mansion. What about the mansion? Tell me about the creepy child. And tell me about the missing. Interesting. All right, the mansion, the high priestess. Wow. Empress, high priestess, another woman. Okay, that was the other thing I was getting. So say the mom has plans for that day. Oh, I don't know. Stephanie's coming over later. We're going to have lunch and some drinks and probably smoke a few doobies or joints or whatever. And she tells somebody, because it felt like somebody was watching and waiting for her to either slip up or to get the kids alone. So she tells somebody now, that somebody tells somebody else, which lets this person know they have hidden information. Mansion. What about the high priestess? What about the high priestess mansion? The door of awakening, enlightenment, transformation, self-awareness, spiritual growth. Okay. And the Beaumont reading, the frog came out, which spoke of self-aware. Just somebody shed light. Light was shown on either another woman, another partner, or somebody's spells, curses, magic, or somebody's sexual interests, sexual proclivities, sexual kinks. It's one of those three things. Door of awakening. Give me 2 stickers on this. The Beaumont children. What about the mansion and the high priestess? Look at that. Best mom ever, and beware of the dog. Alright, I'm going to do this quickly. Tell me about the creepy kid, 8 of Swords. So a kid overwhelmed, overstressed, stuck in their head. Mentally controlled. What about the creepy kid? What about the creepy kid? Frustration. Kind of like an outsider, different. What about the creepy kid? A portal. More sorcery. I've got a dog and a cat. 2 witches. Mirror, mirror on the wall. The mother's jealous of the kid? Let me go back here. Eight of Swords. Gratitude. Grateful for the kid, thankful for the kid, uses the kid, controls the kid. Okay, tell me about the missing person. Error 411, length required. The request did not specify the length of his content. Missing person, Knight of Cups. So Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, that speaks of intimacy. What about the missing person? Duality. Now, I was kind of getting this for the mother. So does she like younger lovers? The missing person, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, intimacy, duality. I got that she was one way, like, all of us, but this was to the extremes. Very presentable in public and very evil behind closed doors. Duality, connection of opposites, oscillation, black and white thinking, a need to harmonize. Is this obsession, possession, a crush, control? Missing person, though. Missing person. Beaumont children. What's this Knight of Cups about? The Smiths. Rough trade. Let's see what that is, because that's duality. That doesn't belong there. Oof. Okay, hold on. Alright, this is the bonnet. This is where caution should be. Take care of those around you. Someone needs looking after. A child, question mark. Sneakers. So they might have found footprints, sneaker tracks, a shoe, and not aware that it belonged to this case. Put the bonnet on the baby, lest he catch a cold. Protect yourself and others in a motherly way. Take precautions and watch out for preventable harms, making sure someone's health is taken care of. Alright, let me do the other ones. Quarterback, shovel, reunion, and voodoo curse. Maybe the curse was put on the mother. Alright, quarterback and shovel. Tell me about the quarterback and the shovel. Quarterback and shovel. Quarterback, the fool. Beginnings, innocence, adventurous spontaneity. So maybe a guy with a dog? Beware of dog, best mom ever, and that was with the high priestess. The high priestess, the magician's missing. The high priestess and then straight, the fool and then the high priestess. What about this fool? Grammy. An award-winning actor, actress, celebrity. Somebody that's betrayed by their boss or manager. And 10. So somebody playing either nonchalant or risk taker. Somebody not usually risky, taking a risk. The quarterback. So this Grammy doesn't belong there. Number 10 is the tree, which speaks of positivity. A friend. He who hears a good tree is blanketed by good shade. He who seeks shelter of a tree covers himself. Good decisions, good choices now yield good results. A friend can offer help. Taking shelter, step back, rest in the shade, think about what's next, or let the storm pass by. Ask for help, and you will receive stability and security. So is somebody, maybe an ex-actor, maybe an ex-military guy, maybe an ex-football player, or lacrosse or rugby, I don't know what Australia plays, on hard times living with somebody else. But Grammy, give me a, who's this quarterback? Wavy here. Who's this quarterback? A bully. Tormentor, which they got the torturer to start off the first reading. So somebody sadistic. Flying monkey, easy target, scapegoat. I have 2 stickers on this. Tell me about this quarterback bully. Possibly a hired hand. Quarterback bully. Austria. Wish I knew what this is. And West Virginia. Interesting. An Austrian now living in America, an American living in Austria, then went to Australia. Somebody that's been to America, Austria, and Australia. 2 more. Tell me about this bully football player. Bride of Chucky. And Death in Reverse. And she has a butterfly tattoo on her arm. Singer, actress, football player, military. Alright, I'm going to keep going. Risk taker, maybe a gambler. Tell me about the fool. The shovel, sorry. Hermit. Buried at or around someone's home. The shovel. Tell me about the shovel. Tell me about the shovel. Somebody that could have unalived themselves because of the torment, the torture, because of what they did. I don't know why this would hit harder. I think they're a hired person. It's saying somebody committed suicide. Might have been a Virgo. Tell me about this. Shovel. 55. Somebody could have been 11. When somebody died, when something happened, tricky. What about the Hermit? What about the Hermit? Shovel and the Hermit. What about the Hermit? Patience. That's what it was asking for in the beginning. Impatience. Shovel. Somebody might say something, or has said something in regards to this. Patience. You need to learn that there is a rhythm to everything in the universe, and the more you are living with patience, the more aware you are of lessons your soul is studying. You are on a path, there are signposts. Queen of Wands and the Moon. In the last read, the original Beaumont reading, there's two cards where paths are going a certain way. It was a Queen of Wands and the Moon. If you are speeding down the path, you will miss the little miracles and treasures that have been placed there. Alright, I gotta get through this. Sorry. Missing person and... reunion and voodoo curse. Tell me about the reunion. And tell me about the voodoo curse. Reunion, Eight of Wands, communication, patience, impatience. Power, mystery, intuition, a knowing, High Priestess already came out. For the mansion. It's like a witch's dungeon. Or a warlock. Reunion. And the Page of Wands came out in the last one, which meant to me a message. So there's communication, two people reuniting. About this could be about a ritual. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. The myrrh, sacrifice, embalming, suffering. What else did that say? Death, resurrection, redemption. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. Reunion with, and tell me about the voodoo curse. Eight of Wands, mathematics, voodoo curse, a myth, but in reverse. Relativity, Einstein, invention, theory of everything, school, measure, logic, intelligence, hypothesis, Newton formula, learning disability, calculate, reality, the Big Bang, and genius. Teacher? Classmate? Tell me about this reunion. Pie, March 14th, a drinker. Tell me about the reunion. Unicorn dust prepared with magic. Use a tablespoon of a fluid to a gallon of water. Keep bottle corked and in a cool place. price, 25 cents. Put up by the Brunhilde the Witch, Healer and Magician, Haunted House, The Forest. The Haunted House came out in their first one and defeat supernatural evil. Did the mother become possessed or something? Or get something attached to her? I forgot what this thing was. I did look it up, sorry. Let me get another one. Teacher. Came out anyway. Holy shit. I just looked at it in the drawer. Control. Take action or be pulled about. Take control of the situation. It's larger than expected. Being passive is not the best choice here. Don't hesitate. Somebody took control. Somebody communicated. I don't know. This could be like a school thing. I'm gonna leave that there. Voodoo Curse. Two of Wands, which I believe came out in this original reading. Did it? Two of Wands. Two of Cups came out. An alliance. Voodoo Curse. I just said before this. Were they meeting together to do a ritual, sacrifice, homage to the country? It was Australia Day. Myth, fairy tale, Odysseus, monster, pagan, deities, Atlantis, story, Arabian Nights, religion, hero, urban legend, Bigfoot, rumor, creation, tradition, archetype, exaggerated ancient history, creation, the mother's the creator, an alliance, man and woman, day and night, Ra, sun and moon. Tell me about the Voodoo Curse. Was this sex orgies? Sex magic orgies? Drugs? Antidepressant? This is like, oh, chest low. This is like going to a seance for fun, but bringing home a deity. So there's something evil. I think it was attached to the mother. Alright, let me go through these. The lie is the Knight of Wands. And the upright, that's what we were told. So some lie about a fast man, a sharp man, a quick man. Knight of Wands. Passion, courage, and adventure. Passion, courage, and adventure. So we were told this, but it's actually this. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Setback, arrogance, and recklessness. So somebody was hasty in the plan, impatient in the plan, miscommunication. Somebody wanted to live a life of luxury. Knight of Wands reverse. Allow yourself to follow a passion project. Just think really hard if the world needs another podcast. Hashtag motivation. Knight of Wands reverse. Being overly aggressive and reckless, having excessive need for validation by others. What is the lie? That somebody was gung-ho about helping or giving information. when in actuality they were dangerous, violent, torturer, tormentor, sadistic, lusty, boastful, and insecure, possibly. What about this Knight of Wands in reverse? Tribal? So Australia, they have bush people. I don't know what other tribes are there. What about this Knight of Wands in reverse? Tell me about this Knight of Wands in reverse in regards to the Beaumont children. Illegal, illegitimate, black market, and crooked. So could be a recent prisoner that got released. This is important. Tell me about Knight of Wands in reverse. Who is this person? So it could be part of a tribe, a gang, a cult, a group, a community, a family, educational thing. What was that? Some kind of community. Tell me about this. Knight of Wands in reverse. What did this person want with the Beaumont children? Memorabilia. Let me get the top and the bottom. Idealistic organization. Stamp collector, tourist shop, historic event, family photos, movie poster, memento, toys, postcards, souvenir, antique, signed photo, sentimentality, newspaper cuttings, hoarder. Immediately I'm getting... oh, God. They wanted to make disgusting material, whether that's pictures or video. This is giving me John Bonet, Madeline McCann vibes. Idealistic organization, revolutionary, tax deduction, church, nonprofit, volunteer, corrupt, demonstrate, peace, donation, Salvation Army, money, embezzlement, charity gala, free speech, advocacy, and grant. Tell me about, so this person might have something that belonged to the children, shoes, photo. Look at that. Have a bread day. This is about money. I think that's a koala. Taipei. The letter G. And smoking. So maybe this was a hippie orgy. Okay. Tell me about why is the lie being kept from us? Temperance. So we were told temperance, being patient, patience, and patience. Patience and patience, patient. A lie. When in actuality something was off balance, meaning whoever knows more than what they put out, knows more than what they told us, had the upper hand because they know. And I don't know why I'm getting, well, I do know why, it's temperance. some kind of possibility to get, give me one from here. Sedated. Reflections. $33. Master number. Wise and yeah. Temperance in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Excess, addictive behavior, thrill-seeking. This is my being drugged or overindulging in drugs, alcohol, what have you. Today I'm getting blood type with that. Temperance in reverse. Let's see what this says. The vibes are off a little. Might be time to fly away. Hashtag lack of balance. So what was going on here? Why is the truth being kept from us? Look at this. The sun and the moon. I can't. A couple. The parents' friends that are a couple. Tell me about this. A manager, a boss that betrayed somebody that somebody was working for, but realized that their boss, manager, leader was betraying them. And then a car, New York. That's the tower in reverse. Cake and coffee. The number 4. The letter A. Tower in reverse. Maybe it's time for a makeover, both spiritually and physically. Hashtag transformation. The tower in reverse. Torment without relief. Blind destruction. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to kind of get out of here. When will we know the truth, if ever? Judgment, resurrection, karma, rising of the dead, redemption. Yeah, I think we're going to eventually know. 3 of Swords. Weeks. So maybe some testing will come back from that site that they digged up. 3 weeks. And the 3 of Swords already came out, so it could be something to do with wooden floors, floor planks, the foundation, that hermit's house. Where was that? A Virgo's home, a neighbor's home, somebody's cottage. Maybe that guy's workplace. 3 weeks. What, if anything, will come out in 3 weeks? What, if anything, will come out in 3 weeks? What's this? Energy. There'll be some movement, some memento. I got energy. Maybe it's something about that coffee shop that they stopped in. What, if anything, will come out in 3 weeks? One of these. Weeping stones. Listen to look at frickin' that. Allow your heart to soften as you process your grief. Don't become bitter. But weeping stones, this is the foundation to me. Energy, there's movement. Maybe thunder strikes something. Alright, one more card and a couple stickers and I'm out. What, if anything, will come out in 3 weeks? What, if anything, will come out in 3 weeks? Look at that. Student loan 50-year plan. This has been 60 years. Maybe somebody that's 50 years old. Somebody that could have died 10 years ago. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10, 20, 50. Is this about a reunion? School reunion? Maybe somebody signs up for school. Somebody's child signs up for school. They realize one of or some of these kids are alive. Alright, let me get a couple of stickers. Beaumont children. What is this about? What, if anything, will come out? One more. Okay. So, a zoo stub, a theater stub, February 2nd. Something about somebody's grandmother? Grandchildren? Could be someone named Francis. Does this have a date? No. Maybe they find a ticket stub. February 20th, a Pisces. I already got that somewhere. Rio de Brazil. A castle. Goals, safety, and achievement. So one of them made it. Somebody might have made it. And it's going to come out somehow. I love you, Mom. This is how these things keep happening. You go and do things and think you're in the clear, and then 50, 60 years later, oh, this too. Be stronger than your excuses. Somebody's going to take a DNA genealogy test and links everything back. All right, thanks.